Welcome to our deep dive. Have you ever, I wonder, stopped to calculate just how much energy we burn simply by sitting around and judging people,
Oh, absolutely.
including quite often ourselves? It seems an alarming amount of effort for something that happens, well, entirely inside our own heads.
It is. And according to L.A. Fairhoff's 7 universal truths, that's exactly the point. That energy expenditure is why so many of us feel so depleted. We're leaking vitality through this constant need to
And
categorize.
that's what we're exploring today, this harmonious approach to existence Fairhoff puts forward. They call it the gardener's perspective.
Yes.
Now, when I first heard that, I admit I pictured someone, you know, ruthlessly yanking out weeds to protect the prized petunias.
And that's the image Fairhoff completely flips.
hmm
In the chapter on love and compassion, this gardener tends to every single plant with equal devotion.
Every plant.
The rose, the thistle, the fruit tree, and what we'd call the weed, they all get water. There are no gates in this garden.
That sounds lovely in theory, but my immediate instinct is to withhold water from the thistle. I mean, why waste resources on something so thorny?
Because Fairhoff's model suggests the act of withholding is what actually costs you your own resources. Judgment, it seems, is a high-friction mental state.
High friction.
Yes, you have to analyze, you have to categorize, reject. The book says it exhausts the day's light,
Yeah.
but acceptance or love, that's a flow state. It actually multiplies your energy.
So we're not judging to protect our standards, we're just draining our own battery. But there's a deeper reason to treat the thistle like the rose, isn't there? That's not just about energy efficiency.
No, it goes right to the architecture of reality described in the book. Fairhoff analyzes thousands of near-death experiences, and the common thread is the life review.
Yeah.
And people don't just watch a movie of their life. They re-experience their actions from the perspective of the people they impacted.
Yeah.
Every single one.
That is a genuinely terrifying thought, the ultimate empathy machine.
It is. And it suggests that separation is an illusion. Fairhoff uses that classic wave in the ocean parable. We see all these separate waves, but
It's all just one body of water.
exactly.
Uh-huh.
And this leads to what the book calls binding energy. In physics, binding energy is what holds a nucleus together. Here, it's applied metaphysically. Love is the binding energy of consciousness.
So when you judge, you're trying to break that bond. You're fighting the fundamental gravity of the universe.
Which is, of course, exhausting.
One might observe that humanity has a rather impressive, if exhausting, hobby.
Oh, what's that?
The meticulous categorization of worthy and unworthy.
It's our favorite pastime, isn't it?
We act as if the universe is sitting there, clipboard in hand, awaiting our daily reports on who deserves sunlight and who, perhaps, requires a good pruning.
Fortunately, the universe doesn't seem to be a bureaucrat. It operates on connection, not checklists. When you judge that driver who cuts you off, you're effectively judging a part of yourself.
All right, so if we resign from our post as the Supreme Court of the grocery store line, how do we actually play this game differently? What's the practical move when I see a weed?
You change the internal question. The next time you feel that little constriction of judgment, whether it's for a stranger or your own reflection, you imagine yourself as that universal gardener.
Okay.
And instead of asking, why is this plant so ugly, or why is it so thorny, you ask,
What does this plant need to flourish?
precisely, what does it need, regardless of how it looks right now? It completely shifts the dynamic from assessment to assistance.
It reframes the other person. They aren't an opponent anymore.
No, they're just consciousness wearing a different face.
Yeah.
Maybe that thorny behavior is just a plant that's been deprived of water or sunlight for a very long time.
And by offering that sunlight, that non-judgmental presence, we stop fighting the current. We align with that binding energy.
And you preserve your own energy for what actually matters, for creation connection, for just being present.
Non-judgment, then, is the ultimate cheat code for vitality. I rather like that.
It's the only way to play the game harmoniously.
So, a final thought for you to carry into your week. You are both the gardener and the garden. Try tending to all your parts, the jagged edges and the soft petals, with that same impartial devotion.
It really does change everything.
If you'd like to explore these universal truths further, you can find L.A. Fairhoff's book via the universal link in our show notes. Do join us next week. We have more ways to transform your thoughts coming up. Thanks for listening.